Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Shihabuddin Masalim and my matrix number is 1181433. I am final year student, Bachelor of Fiqh and Fatwa, Islamic Science University of Malaysia, USIM. So today I will presenting to you my final year project entitled Sharia Issue, the Acceptance of Vaccine COVID-19 to the Perspective of Islam and Maqasid Sharia in Malaysia. I am supervised by my lecturer, Dr. Fahana binti Muhammad Suhaimi, and special thanks to my assessor today, Associate Professor Dr. Nik Rahim Nik Wajiz. To start my presentation today, firstly, let's take a look at the introduction of my research. The globe was shaken by the emergence of new sort of sickness known as COVID-19, which occurred around the end of 2019. The COVID-19 epidemic has sparked widespread worry throughout the globe. The World Health Organization (WHO) designated it a global health emergency on January 30 of 2020. Various types of vaccines to treat COVID-19 virus have been released by various companies and have been distributed around the world, including Malaysia. Next, let's take a look at my main objective of the research. There are four main objectives that I have arised in my research, which is the first one is review the hukum of using of COVID-19 vaccine according to the contemporary scholars. Next, to study the relationship between vaccines and maqasid syariah, and then to study the efficacy of COVID-19 vaccine and in preventing COVID-19 outbreak, and lastly, to increase the awareness of nations on the acceptance of COVID-19 vaccine and its benefits. Next, let's move on to this research discussion. Firstly, there are various scholarly opinions about the law of using COVID-19 according to Islam. So I have brought opinions and fatwas from scholars and of the on the use of COVID-19 vaccine. First one is from Darul Ifta, Egypt, by former Mufti of Egypt, Sheikh Professor Dr. Ali Jum'ah. Dr. Ali Jum'ah was asked about the law of vaccinating in order to prevent diseases from occurring in the body. Is it allowed or not? So he replied that the vaccine to prevent any disease is a kind of treatment that is protective and it is something that is demanded in terms of Islamic law and urged by Islamic law. It is obligatory on Muslims to help each other in the effort to give vaccines to their young children and to protect them from diseases that will befall them if it is not done on them. After that, from Federal Territory Mufti by Dr. Zulkifli Muhammad Al-Bakri, he also said that vaccine COVID-19 is wajib. It is our responsibility and obligation as Malaysians and Muslims to ensure that our environment is free from infectious diseases. After that, immunization is also consistent with the maslahah of Daruriyat al-Khams, which includes Hifzu ad-Din, Hifzu al-Nafs, Hifzu al-Aqal, Hifzu al-Mal, Hifzu al-Nasal. Okay, the first one, we take a look to the Hifzu ad-Din. We may protect our religion in number of ways by obtaining immunization for certain diseases. This is due to the fact that Islam is a religion that place a strong emphasis on health by outlining certain fundamental guidelines for coping with disease, both before and during illness. We may defend the religion by demonstrating that Islam is a religion that place a high on health, particularly life, and that Islam urges its adherents to take the necessary precaution to prevent being infected with the diseases and to overcome them. Secondly, we take a look to Hifzu Amnas. Vaccination helps to protect Hifzu Amnas or life since it may prevent the transmission of COVID, preventable illness that can harmful to human health and life. And as a result, it helps to reduce morbidity and mortality in the country. We as Muslims can save our own lives as well as the lives of those around us by getting the vaccination. Vaccines may increase our body immunity and protect us from being sick with the infectious illness such as COVID-19. Taking vaccination also may help us to take care of our property. or Al-Mal. This is due to the fact that after receiving the vaccination, Muslims may resume their regular routines in the same manner as before COVID-19 epidemic. Muslims have the ability to do business and employment, which in terms help to improve the Muslim economy. Also, we take a look to the efficiency of COVID-19 vaccines. According to the research conducted by the Ministry of Health, the vaccination employed in the National COVID Immunization Program (PIC) had an overall success rate of 88% in lowering the risk of COVID-19 infections. The researchers discovered that the likelihood of asymptomatic infection was lowered by 86% as a result of the study. Additionally, in situation of infection against fully immunized receivers, it gives protection at a comparable rate, preventing the patient from becoming a critical or succumbing their illness. This research was done by the Clinical Research Institute of Ministry of Health. They also had 1.26 million participants and was funded by the Malaysian government. Let's take a look to the bar chart. Based on the bar chart above, it shows that the overall effectiveness rate of the fully vaccine in reducing the risk of infection is 88%, while the partial vaccinated effectiveness is rate on the 51%. For symptomatic infections, the effectiveness rate of the vaccine for those who have received a full dose of vaccine in reducing the rate of symptomatic infection is 86%, while for those who have just received a partial dose of vaccine is 35%. In this research, PIC was tested with 3 different vaccination, and the AstraZeneca vaccine was determined to give the most infection protection of the 3. According to the finding of the trial, the AstraZeneca vaccination was 96% effective in lowering the likelihood of patient being admitted to the intensive care unit, or we call it as ICU, as well as the risk of mortality. Overall, the vaccine efficacy rate for those who had completed the vaccine dose in reducing the ICU admission rate was 84% among the COVID-19 patients, while the vaccine efficacy rate for those who partially vaccinated in reducing the ICU admission rate was 38% among the COVID-19 patients. Okay, lastly, let's take a look at the step to raise awareness on the acceptance of vaccine. Based on the study, there are 4 steps in providing awareness to the Malaysians about the vaccine reception and its safety. The first is by boosting knowledge about the intake and safety of the COVID-19 vaccination begins at the family level, which is the most important issue to consider. Children must create a good atmosphere for their parents and present them with as much factual information as possible regarding the success of COVID-19 vaccine in order to persuade and urge them to enroll and get vaccination shots. Furthermore, an explanation of the COVID-19 vaccination should be provided to the teenagers or school children on a regular basis so that they become more concerned about illness prevention and the prevention of the epidemic spreading to that group, despite the fact that there is no law requiring students to receive the vaccine. Okay, lastly, the government has a vital role to play in ensuring that the public is aware of the necessity of receiving vaccination dose, as well as the safety of the vaccine in its natural environment. In order to raise public awareness, the government might collaborate with the diverse parties such as the media to raise awareness among the public. When it comes to providing real and truthful information, the media plays a critical role in this respect. So it is not only the traditional media, but also the new media that should collaborate in order to convey a message about the necessity of vaccination to the public. So we have arrived to the conclusion of this presentation. Most of the scholars from Egypt and Malaysia agree that vaccine is acceptable according to Islamic perspective. Why? Because we should take the vaccine because there is relationship between vaccine and maqasid syariah, which is hifzu ad-din, hifzu al-mal, hifzu al-aqal, hifzu al-nafs. the steps to raise awareness of acceptance of vaccines come out from family and school education, awareness issue from government, and advertisement in media. So that's all from me. Thank you.